I'm looking at this project report. It's been open on my screen for 3 days. I know exactly what I need to do. I even want to do it, but my brain just refuses. I check my email, I get a coffee, I organize my files. Anything but the one thing I'm supposed to do. Why is it so hard to just begin?
Because the problem isn't about beginning the work. It's about ending the waiting.
Ending the waiting? What does that mean? I'm not trying to wait. I'm trying to work.
Most people think procrastination is a time management problem. They think they are lazy or undisciplined. So they download a new app, make a more detailed schedule, promise themselves a reward.
I've done all of that. It works for a day, maybe 2. Then I'm back to staring at the screen.
Exactly. Because those are logical solutions for a logical problem. But procrastination is not logical. It's emotional. You're not avoiding the task. You're avoiding the feeling you associate with the task.
The feeling? You mean boredom? Or that it's difficult?
It could be. It could be a fear of failure or a fear of judgment. It could even be the pressure of knowing it has to be perfect. Your brain is trying to protect you from that negative feeling.
So my brain is trying to help me by stopping me from doing my job. That doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense to the emotional part of your brain. Think about it. When you think about that big report, what's the very first feeling you have? Is it excitement?
No, it's heavy, a sense of pressure. I think about all the research, the writing, the formatting. It feels huge. It's overwhelming.
There it is. Overwhelm. Your brain registers that feeling as a threat, and its primary job is to move you away from threats. So it suggests a safer activity. Check email, get coffee. These are easy, low-stress tasks.
So I'm stuck in a loop. The task feels bad, so I avoid it. But avoiding it makes me feel guilty and anxious, which also feels bad.
Yes, and we try to fight this loop with motivation. We watch an inspiring video or tell ourselves, this time I will be disciplined. We try to force a feeling that isn't there. But the real problem isn't the task itself. It's the story we tell ourselves about the task before we even start. It's the negative anticipation.
The anticipation. So the problem happens before the problem. I'm already tired of the project before I've written a single word.
Precisely. You're reacting to a ghost. The difficult, overwhelming project you're imagining doesn't exist yet. All that exists right now is a blank page. The imagined pain of the entire project is what stops you from taking the first simple step.
Okay, I think I understand that. So if the problem is my anticipation of the task, how do I change that? I can't just tell myself, this huge project is actually fun and easy. My brain won't believe that.
You don't have to. You don't change the feeling by thinking. You change the feeling by acting, but in a very specific way. Most people believe that to start a big task, you need a big amount of energy, a big block of time.
Right. I always wait until I have at least 2 hours free. I think I need to really focus.
And that belief is a trap. It makes perfect sense because an important task feels like it deserves a big commitment. But in reality, it creates a huge wall. You're setting the bar so high that it becomes impossible to start. You've created a massive mental threshold.
A threshold? You mean like a minimum requirement? Like I need to feel this motivated or have this much time before I can begin?
Exactly. And your brain looks at that high threshold and says, no thank you. That looks like too much effort. Let's check social media instead. The solution isn't to find the energy to jump over that wall. The solution is to make the wall disappear.
Make it disappear? How? The project is still the same size. The report still needs to be written.
We forget the simple physics of the mind. An object at rest stays at rest. That feeling of being stuck, of staring at the screen, that is mental inertia.
Inertia? I feel that. It's like a physical force holding me in my chair.
It is a force, and we think we need an equally strong force, motivation, to overcome it. But that's not how it works. Motivation doesn't precede action. Action precedes motivation. You don't think your way into a new feeling. You act your way into it.
So you're saying I just have to force myself to start, even if I don't feel like it. The classic, just do it. I've tried that. It feels like a battle, and honestly, I lose that battle most of the time.
Just do it is terrible advice, because it still sounds big. It is the whole project, the report. the giant, overwhelming task. The secret is not to do it. The secret is to do something so small, so easy, that your brain doesn't even register it as effort. The goal is to make the first action feel completely trivial.
So trivial, it doesn't matter? Like what?
I'll give you an example. You need to write that report. The high threshold start is, I will write the first section. That's big. It requires thought and energy. Your brain resists.
Okay.
A low threshold start might be, I will just write the first paragraph. Better, but still requires some creative effort. Still some resistance.
Right.
A truly trivial start is this. Open the document, write your name and the date at the top, and then close the document.
That's it? That's not work? That's nothing. It would take 10 seconds.
Exactly. Can you feel the difference? There is zero resistance to that action. No part of your brain says, I can't do that. It's too hard. It's so easy, it's almost funny not to do it. It bypasses the entire emotional debate.
Okay, that makes sense. But it still feels unrealistic. If this is true, why do so many smart people still fail at this? I know CEOs, engineers, artists, all of them struggle with procrastination. It can't be as simple as just writing your name on a document. That feels like a trick, not a strategy. What about a massive, complex project that will take 6 months? A 2-minute start feels meaningless.
You're right, it does feel meaningless, and that's exactly why it works. You're still thinking the goal of the first action is to make progress on the project. It is not. The goal of the first action is to change your emotional state.
To change my state?
Yes. Let's connect the ideas. You start with this heavy feeling of anticipation. Your brain is in protective avoidance mode. It's fighting the idea of the 6-month project, not the reality of the next 2 minutes. It can't tell the difference.
So it's reacting to the entire project all at once.
Always. But when you commit to a trivial action, I will open the software, I will put on my running shoes, I will write 1 sentence, you are not negotiating with the project. You are negotiating with the start. Once you complete that tiny 2-minute action, something in your brain shifts.
What shifts?
The task is no longer an abstract monster in your mind. It's a concrete thing right in front of you. You've broken the inertia. You've created the smallest possible spark of momentum.
Momentum. So the goal isn't to finish the race, it's just to take the first step.
It's even less than that. The goal is just to put on your running shoes. After that, you can decide to sit on the couch. That's fine. You give yourself permission to stop after 2 minutes. But what usually happens?
Well, if I've already got my running shoes on, I'm probably more likely to go for a run. If I've already opened the document and written my name, maybe writing the first sentence doesn't seem so hard.
The inertia is broken. The identity shifts. A moment ago, you were a person who is avoiding the report. Now, you are a person who is sitting in front of the report. The resistance gets weaker simply because you started. You didn't wait for motivation. You created it with a tiny physical action.
So let me see if I have this right. The real enemy isn't laziness, it's the negative anticipation of the work.
Yes, the feeling about the thing, not the thing itself.
And we build a huge mental wall, a high threshold for getting started, because we think we need to be perfectly prepared and motivated.
Which makes starting feel impossible.
But this creates mental inertia. We get stuck doing nothing. The way to break that is with an action so trivial that our brain doesn't fight back.
An action that has almost no resistance.
And that tiny action creates just enough momentum to make the next action slightly easier, and then the next one after that.
You've described the system perfectly. It's not about discipline, it's about strategy. You're not fighting your brain, you're gently tricking it into a more useful state.
It's so strange. All my life I've been trying to build up more willpower, to be tougher on myself. It sounds like the answer is to be easier on myself, to ask for less, not more.
To ask for something so small, it's impossible to refuse. The goal is not to write the report. The goal is to open the document. The rest can follow, but it doesn't have to. The pressure is gone.
And when the pressure is gone, the resistance disappears.
Exactly.
It's not about forcing myself to do the work. It's about making it easy to just show up.
And when you just show up, day after day, the work gets done. You're not a procrastinator. You're just someone who sometimes gets stuck before starting. And now you know how to get unstuck.